Opening shot shows a female host and a male host sitting side by side in a television studio. Superscripts show All About Healthcare Voucher. Host April. Host Mike. Host April says, in the last episode of All About Healthcare Voucher, we talked about the basic information of the scheme. We wonder if elderly persons are conversant with the rules of using vouchers.
我哋上一集嘅醫療券全攻略咧，就講咗好多關於計劃嘅基本資訊啦。咁但係唔知各位老友記對於醫療券嘅使用規則又有幾了解呢？
Host Mike nods and says, Please keep watching. In this episode of All About Healthcare Voucher, we have Athena, our healthcare voucher agent, who will visit the neighborhood to see if people are familiar with the scheme and check if all of them are smart about using vouchers through a game.
咁就要繼續睇落去啦。我哋今集醫療券全攻略咧，就請到 Athena 化身成為我哋嘅醫療券探員，考驗一下我哋嘅街坊對醫療券計劃嘅熟悉程度，再測試一下佢哋係唔係個個都咁醒目先。
Host April says, Let's hurry up and see how well they perform.
咁就事不宜遲啦，我哋即刻咧揾醫療券探員，請街坊接受挑戰啦。
Superscripts show Healthcare Voucher Agent Athena. In a street scene, Healthcare Voucher Agent Athena says, Hello, this is Athena. I believe everyone has heard of Healthcare Voucher, but does everyone know how to use vouchers wisely? I'm going to invite people in the neighborhood to take part in a Healthcare Voucher Quiz Challenge and see who can win our Wise Use of Healthcare Voucher Award.
大家好，我係 Athena， 相信大家都聽過醫療券，但係咪各位觀眾都識得精明咁用呢？我今日會揾一班街坊，準備接受以下嘅醫療券快問快答小挑戰，睇下邊個可以奪得我哋嘅精明醫療券大使寶座啦！
The agent finds two teams, team of grandmother and grandson, and team of husband and wife. Team of grandmother and grandson stands on the left, while team of husband and wife stands on the right. The agent stands in the middle and says, After a series of interviews, we finally get some contestants to take our challenge. Today we have team of grandmother and grandson and team of husband and wife. Are you ready? Of course. I always accompany my grandmother to see doctor by using vouchers. The game will be easy for me.
經過一輪訪問，終於揾到街坊接受我哋嘅挑戰啦！今日嘅挑戰者分別有婆孫拍檔同埋夫妻二人組，有冇信心先？
梗係有啦！我平時都會陪婆婆用醫療券睇醫生嘅，呢啲問題一定難唔到我嘅。
Team of grandmother and grandson makes a cheering gesture. Superscripts show up. Team of grandmother and grandson. The agent gives a nod with a smile and turns to ask team of husband and wife, What about you?
咁你哋呢？
The couple looks at each other sweetly and says, We are a perfect couple. I am sure we can win the game together.
我哋兩公婆咁恩愛，夫妻同心，一定冇問題啦。
Team of husband and wife makes a cheering gesture at the same time. Superscripts show Team of husband and wife. The agent smiles and says, Good luck to you.
咁祝你哋旗開得勝啦！
The agent asks the first question. First question. An elderly person with reduced mobility asks his grandson to take his identity card to a familiar doctor and to use vouchers on his behalf to get medicine according to previous prescriptions. Is it acceptable?
第一題，有位行動唔方便嘅長者想委託孫仔帶同佢嘅身份證去到樓下診所揾相熟嘅醫生，用醫療券代為配藥。請問咁樣做得唔得呢？
Superscripts show Can an elderly person authorize another person to use vouchers on his behalf to obtain medicine from a clinic with previous prescriptions? Wife holds up a tick sign and answers the question. I think it is acceptable. As a close family member, it is reasonable for the grandson to bring along his grandparent's identity card to use vouchers on behalf of his grandparent.
我知，我覺得可以啊！屋企人之間互相幫忙，孫仔幫手拎長者嘅身份證去用醫療券，好合理啊！
Grandmother holds up a cross sign and answers the question. Of course not. If anyone can use vouchers on behalf of an elderly person by showing the elderly person's identity card, then it is not secure and should not be allowed.
梗係唔得啦！如果其他人隨便拎長者嘅身份證去用醫療券，咁咪冇晒保障，唔得嘅。
The agent says, the answer is no.
答案係唔得嘅。
Team of grandmother and grandson answers correctly. The agent further explains. Elderly person should receive healthcare services in person before they can use their vouchers to settle the relevant service fees.
一定要長者親身接受咗醫療服務，先至可以用醫療券支付整套醫療服務嘅費用㗎。
Superscripts show vouchers can only be used after receiving healthcare services in person. The agent gives a star-shaped sticker to team of grandmother and grandson and says, 1 point to team of grandmother and grandson.
婆孫拍檔先得1分。
The agent asks the next question. Second question. An elderly person would like to use vouchers to settle consultation fee, but a nurse of the clinic told him that there is administration fee on top for using vouchers. Is that okay?
第二題，有位伯伯想用醫療券支付診金，但診所姑娘回覆需要收取額外嘅費用作為使用醫療券嘅行政費喎。請問咁樣得唔得呢？
The superscripts show up. Will using healthcare voucher affect the service fees being charged? Grandson holds up a tick sign and answers, I think it is okay. I think it depends on whether administration fee will be charged by the clinic for using vouchers. Different clinics may have different practices.
可以啊，我覺得可能要視乎返間診所需唔需要收取使用醫療券嘅行政費，唔同診所應該有唔同嘅做法。
Husband holds up a cross sign and answers, I know the answer. Using healthcare voucher should not affect the service fees being charged. The charge should be the same whether vouchers are used or not. Charging a higher fee for using voucher is not allowed.
呢題我就識啦，用醫療券係唔影響收費嘅，用唔用醫療券收費都應該係一樣，唔可以因為用醫療券而收貴啲。
The agent says, Team of husband-wife is correct. Using healthcare voucher should not affect the service fees being charged.
夫妻二人組答得快而準啊！用醫療券支付診金係唔會影響服務收費㗎。
Superscripts show using healthcare voucher should not affect the service fees being charged. The agent further explains. In fact, all enrolled healthcare service providers will create voucher accounts for elderly persons and assist them to use vouchers free of charge.
其實參加咗醫療券計劃嘅醫療服務提供者係會免費為長者開設醫療券戶口，同協助佢哋使用嘅。
The agent gives a star-shaped sticker to the team of husband and wife and says, 1 point to team of husband and wife. Great. Stage 1 passed. The game is a tie now. Let's get into Stage 2 for the final questions. This part is a quick answer race. Please press the bell as quickly as possible and explain the answer in details.
夫妻二人組得1分。好，完成咗第一關啦，大家嘅得分都不相伯仲啊！事不宜遲，即刻去第2關嘅終極問題啦！你哋要搶答同詳細解釋㗎。
The agent asks the third question. Third question. An elderly person who receives physiotherapy service on a regular basis would like to pay in advance for a course of physiotherapy treatment with 10 sessions. Is it allowed under the scheme?
第3題，有位需要定期做物理治療嘅長者想用醫療券預先繳付為期10次嘅物理治療療程喎，請問咁樣做又得唔得呢？
Superscripts show. Can vouchers be used for prepaid healthcare services? Wife presses the bell and says, One-off prepayment is so convenient. Definitely yes.
一次過預繳咁方便，梗係得啦。
Grandmother presses the bell and says, It is certainly not allowed. Each session should be charged and settled individually.
當然唔可以預繳啦，應該逐次服務計算先至啱。
Grandson supplements. Also, the scheme encourages elderly persons to use vouchers based on their health needs.
同埋醫療券係鼓勵你哋班老友記按自己健康需要而使用㗎嘛。
The agent gives a thumbs up to team of grandmother and grandson. Grandmother of team of grandmother and grandson is really smart. The answer is in the negative. Elderly persons should receive healthcare services in person before they can use their vouchers to settle the relevant service fees. Setting advance payment with vouchers is not allowed.
婆孫拍檔嘅婆婆真係又醒又精靈啊！答案係唔可以㗎。老友記應該喺每次親身接受有關醫療服務後，用醫療券俾錢，唔可以用醫療券預先繳費㗎。
Superscripts show vouchers cannot be used for prepaid healthcare services. The agent then asks the last question. Last question. Both teams should stay alert. Okay, which of the following answers is not an example of wise use of healthcare voucher? A. Check voucher balance before consultation. B. Use up all voucher balance by end of each year. C. Ask healthcare service providers for details about service charges before consultation. D. Check information on the consent form before signing it.
嚟到最後一題啦，大家要打醒12分精神搶答啊！好，下列邊一項做法並唔係精明咁使用醫療券呢？ A. 求診前先查閱戶口內嘅醫療券餘額。B. 每年年底前用盡醫療券餘額。C. 求診前先向醫療服務提供者查詢服務收費詳情。D. 簽署使用醫療券同意書之前，先核對同意書上嘅資料。
Superscripts show up. Which of the following answers is not an example of wise use of healthcare voucher? A. Check voucher balance before consultation. B. Use up all voucher balance by end of each year. C. Ask healthcare service providers for details about service charges before consultation. D. Check information on the consent form before signing it. The wife quickly gives her answer. I know. B is an example of using vouchers wisely, as using up all vouchers every year can avoid their getting wasted. Both C and D should be correct. We choose A.
我知啊 ，B 就用得精明啦，年年清晒啲醫療券，唔會浪費啊嘛。C 同 D 應該冇錯，我哋揀 A。
The agent asks, Final answer?
最後答案。
The husband confidently replies, Yes, the answer is A.
係答案係 A。
The agent gestures across and asks another team to answer again. A is wrong. What about the other team?
A 係錯嘅，婆孫拍檔有冇補答啊？
Grandson answers. I know that healthcare voucher scheme encourages elderly persons to choose healthcare services that best suit their health needs. Vouchers should be used on a need basis. It is not supposed to be spent when it is not necessary, just to avoid wasting the vouchers. Otherwise, one might not have sufficient vouchers for use as and when there is a genuine need to use them. The current accumulation limit of vouchers is $8,000. Elderly persons can keep their vouchers for flexible use. So B is not an example of wise use of vouchers. The answer should be B.
我知道醫療券計劃係鼓勵長者因應自己健康需要而選擇醫療服務嘅。醫療券要應用則用，唔應該因為驚浪費而喺冇需要用嘅時候用晒每年嘅醫療券㗎。如果唔係嘅話咧，到有需要用嘅時候就有可能唔夠醫療券用㗎。現時醫療券嘅累積金額上限係8000蚊，長者可以將醫療券儲起嚟靈活咁樣用，所以 B 唔係一個精明嘅用法，所以答案係 B。
The agent provides the correct answer. The answer is B. This is the end of the game. Congratulations to team of Grandma and Grandson for winning our Healthcare Voucher Quiz Challenge.
答案係 B。遊戲就嚟到呢度啦，恭喜晒婆孫拍檔贏出今次嘅醫療券快問快答挑戰啦！
Grandmother and grandson give high five. The agent presents an award to team of Grandma and Grandson and says, Here is the Wise Use of Healthcare Voucher Award.
等我頒個精明醫療券大使獎俾你哋啦！
The agent then says to the camera, Great. Hope that all elderly persons can get a better understanding about using vouchers after this episode. See you in the next episode.
好啦，希望各位老友記睇完今集都會對醫療券有更加多嘅認識啦。我哋下集再見，拜拜。
The last scene shows the logos of the healthcare voucher scheme and the Department of Health with the following superscript. Website www.hcv.gov.hk. Hotline 2838 2311.